Detroit! Detroit!
Now the first carry for Ty Montgomery. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. The Bills send the punter out. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Wilson now off the bootleg. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 23 yards on the play.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hey, tempo, tempo, tempo.
On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Yeah, once more, strong running. Excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 45-yard line. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And down to the 36-yard line here. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll try and run for it with Penny. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So the kick from here on a field goal would have been right at 53 yards, but instead, offense out there. They're going for it. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get it to the 33, good enough for a 1st down. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the 1st. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
On 2nd down, Wilson leaves it for Penny. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Rashad Penny, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks have taken a 1st quarter lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And here come the Bills, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Detroit! Detroit!
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Looking to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. It's a big play for the Bills on 3rd down. 43 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone.
No. Check. Patriot.
Handoff comes to Montgomery. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Watch him now, Barney.
A give. This is Montgomery. A great move by Montgomery. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bills are an extra point away from tying the football game. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They go, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And the Bills have recovered. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
First trip to the red zone for the Bills. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. They pitch it out to Montgomery. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Detroit!
On On the carry, it's Montgomery. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Detroit!
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Dancing to his left. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The pitch goes to Penny. Avoids him at the 40. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll toss it to Penny. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now Wilson throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain of 11 and a 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Bell. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Now Wilson on first down. This is Bell on the dump off. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
They go back to the ground now with Penny. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. Now the Bills will take another timeout as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. And Myers able to knock it through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
The Bills getting set to go. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Now the Bills will hustle to the line.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
He's going to let this one go deep. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 29. A big play there just before halftime. 54 yards. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. And with very little time left on the play clock, Pete Carroll's going to call timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10, it's Wilson again. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
That would be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the third quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. Fielded at about the 28. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
They tried to run it to the short side of the field. There just wasn't a whole lot of room to work with.
Yeah, it seems like things just kept getting strung out towards the sideline, and he kept looking for a spot to dive up into the gap. There just wasn't one, so that turned into nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
And no gain.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Set! Blue 90! Blue 90! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
The Bills on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw. And the pressure gets to him again.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Pulled in at the 24. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. To throw on 2nd down. Wilson, middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Bell. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Here's Wilson. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Here's Wilson to throw. And he is going to be run down. What a disaster there. A huge loss. How about about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. He finds an opening past the 40, and he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
And he's taken down inside the red zone past the Seattle 15. And that one results in 35 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
We got three, fellas, we got three. Watch the edge.
Montgomery. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Alert three! Alert three! I got him! On me!
They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9.
Trip! Got trip! Got three! Kill! Turn up! Kill! Turn up! No! Check! Patriot! Come on!
They'll run him now out of the gun. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that will knot us up at 10. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Back now here on EA Sports. All even as we get ready to start the 4th.
Keep working, baby. Keep working, fellas.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile.
Run left, run left. Right. 380. Four down. 380.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. 3rd down here. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Wilson now, operating from the gun. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, the fans should be applauding this defense right now. It's an excellent job. They force a 3 and out, and they should be able to set up their guys with great field position, probably near midfield or better.
Here's Ryan Quigley now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And he'll take it just outside the 40. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he'll get it down here to the 43. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. And he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Taco Charlton in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon. The Bills on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 17. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to fire one deep over the... It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And a big 32-yard play on third. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Gun! Detroit!
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run with Montgomery. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Bills have broken the tie. Catanzaro now for the extra point. Extra point good by Catanzaro, and that makes it a 17-10 score. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They begin with a run by Penny. Space to maneuver at the 40. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From midfield now, here's Wilson. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. first down. Wilson dumps that off to Penny as running back. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up second down. To throw again is Wilson. Over the middle, complete. It's Robinson. And he gets it down to the 32. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. The Seahawks on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Gotta go.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Not ideal there. That delay of game backs him up 5 yards, so now they need 7 yards on third down. He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners, who have had the receivers on lockdown.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. The toss play to Montgomery. Room to run past midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney. Watch him now, Barney.
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
Watch him now, Barney.
Coming right, this is Montgomery on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter. Do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Watch him now, Barney. Watch him now, Barney. Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56.
Back to throw here. Trying to lay one up deep. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills will extend their lead. Point after now from Catanzaro. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And the lead now up to 14. Cat and zero out now as he'll kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, a 22.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. And he's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. Problem for them, they needed that score with a little more time left on the clock. I think just too little too late now.
I would agree with that, and we're programmed never to say never. But in this case, we're asking a lot for them to even think they have a chance.
All right, now the Seahawks face a big two-point conversion attempt. They'll look to throw. And he's got it for the two-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. So now with little time remaining, they'll have this and maybe one more play. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though. Now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
1st down, here's the run with Montgomery. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. The Bills on their way to victory now as they take the knee. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this.